Good afternoon, Roger Gelb here. I'm an attorney in Maryland, and today I'm going to discuss accidents involving Uber. There are essentially three different ways that Uber accidents can involve a client of ours. One, they are operating a vehicle while on the Uber app, meaning they are working for Uber at the time of the loss, or they're a passenger in a vehicle, which is an Uber vehicle, or they can be injured by a vehicle, which is an Uber vehicle working for Uber or the other driver on their Uber app when the accident occurs. The most important consideration here, essentially, it's all the same, the way these types of claims are handled. But the difference is the insurance coverage for somebody who's operating a vehicle while they are on the Uber application is different than if they were just in their vehicle not on the Uber app. So if a person, driver A, is driving, when they're not on their Uber application and they're insured with State Farm, then of course State Farm is primary. But if they're on their Uber application when the accident occurs, then the Uber policy would become primary for the loss. And in fact, the personal coverage on the vehicle would probably not even apply. There's an exception. Some policies, some personal policies do cover Uber Eats, but not Uber when there are passengers involved. So sort of dissecting that and figuring out which coverage is going to be primary for the loss does take a little bit of investigation on the part of the attorney, and it takes a little bit of time. But the coverages are essentially the same. The amounts of coverage are typically similar to any other private vehicle. There was a time when Uber had all of their policies through one particular insurance company, and they always had at least $1 million in bodily injury coverage. That is not the case anymore. The policies are much smaller now, which saves, of course, the company a great deal of money. They don't need that type of coverage, but generally, of course. But the claims are handled essentially the same way as if it was private insurance or insurance through, when it's a private driver not working for Uber. There's underinsured benefits available if it's appropriate or applicable. There's first-party medical coverage available, potentially, not on every policy, but on some. That could be medical payment coverage. That could be PIP coverage, which is personal injury protection benefits, which covers lost wages and medical expenses. Or it could have neither, or it could have both. Lots of variations here. That's why it's so important to talk to a Maryland attorney who handles a lot of Uber claims like myself. I'm always available to discuss your claim involving Uber or any other accident. My telephone is 202-331-7227. Thanks for listening.